Peace. This is a meat and potato saucy production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today for the occult family is the sleeper does not always awaken. One of the things that you're going to have to know is that as a human being, a child of the third race, or even a practitioner of magic, one of the traps that you can fall into and should be avoided is that you're trying to wake up everybody and get everybody so-called up to speed like what you're trying to achieve or do. This is a self-defeating process because it will stem from the false ego, arrogance, and also just being overly altruistic. Some people come here and they want to be asleep. It's as simple as that because they don't want to fall on the sword. See, when you're doing magic, you have to be prepared to have setbacks in order to gain excellence. Everybody doesn't want to do that. Change hurts. Being accountable for your actions, this hurts. So people want the so-called simple things that are still denied to them. If you look at it across the board, and this is a revolutionary time, and you have people right now that are quitting jobs in droves. Now, why are they doing it? Lack of a living wage, not having respect, or if they're a child of the third race, the magic inside of them won't let them have a third dimensional menial existence. It is as simple as that. When you're doing this, it's going to pull you away from that. So the nonsensical conversations and, talking about movies and sports, that just doesn't do it. And people who are in denial, they're going to keep talking about the same things. Don't believe me? Let Mentor give you examples. The so-called insurrection that happened during January 6th of 2021. How was that an insurrection? Somebody dressed up as a Viking or other people. That wasn't an insurrection. That was planned. See, insurrection and revolutionary heads are taken. That was all planned. Period, point blank. And an individual compared that to 9/11, which was also planned, but it was also a ritual and people were expendable. So people who argue about this, trust me, if you ever want to see people who are asleep or are exponents of denial, look at their comments on social media. Or if you have dinner with them, look at that. And they will just say things, they just repeat things and don't do any research and don't cross-reference. And it's very important that you do that. Even for so-called African Americans. Which, if you look at it, like I said, I came from Harlem. I love you, Harlem. But if you look at that, some people just feel like if you dress the part and you take a Yoruba name or a Kemetic name, that's enough. The people who really fell on the sword, you don't like. But this is what people are used to. Let me say this, and I want to make this very clear. All visionaries, irrespective of their race or ethnic group, are always demonized and ignored. I want to make that very clear. They're demonized and they're ignored. There was a newspaper article, and for those who are familiar with the Schomburg Library, Malcolm X was compared to Hitler. King's popularity was down prior to his assassination, which was a sacrifice. And we can just look at what Dion Fortune did, Franz Barton in the magical community. We can look at that. Even Nikola Tesla, who's from Venus. You can look at that. And people want to keep doing the same things. And I want to say this, is that you have Nikola Tesla, who was doing time experiments. He was a superior genius to Thomas Edison. How did he die? I'll let you look that up. And as far as this time of revolution, do you know that Amazon, because a lot of people like Amazon Prime, and that's not for me to judge, but do you know that Amazon Corporation had workers working through a tornado? They did. And not only that, when you get these Amazon Prime, deliveries, they have to meet a certain quota. If they don't, they're cut. Some workers have even been reported to urinating in water bottles. But people just like, oh, that doesn't happen. And this, certain people want to be asleep. So how dare you wake them up? Because see, when you're asleep, you're in a state of comfortability. You don't have to move. You can just relax. When you wake up from your sleep, this means that you have to move. You have to walk. There has to be some activity. So we have to get away from that. If people want to be asleep, let them sleep. That has nothing to do with your assignment. Because if you can't get your assignment right on the third dimension, which is a lot of earth energy, what do you think you're going to do on the fourth or the fifth? Or etc. So that's something for you to think about. And I'm going to give you a demon that you can work with who will help you with your motivations. And that's Gusion. Gusion. An offering could be sandalwood. And I've talked about sandalwood before. The color is yellow. The tarot card is 3 of Cups. And that's someone that can help with that, with your hidden motivations and your desires, and also unveiling past, present, and future things, and also helping you with your networking ability. And if you want to have a plant, his plant is aloe. So that's something for you to think about. Don't get caught up in the ego and stop trying to just, if people are weak, let them be weak. Maybe they came here for that. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.